All right, guys. Today we're going to build a side hustle. In that side hustle, it's going to be local, that can be scaled. We're going to do something we can do daily. No investment up front. And it's going to help people. Okay, so as we know, we have a cost of living crisis. Small business is doing it tough. It's doing it tough. And it's topical. So what we're going to do is we're going to help small business. We're going to help them become more profitable. But we're going to do it almost in a transient way. And we're also going to think about how we use influence and persuasion to get what we want. Okay, so what's something you do? What's something you can, if we look at a restaurant, right? If we have a restaurant has a menu and it has prices. Now, as we know, the input costs of the prices have gone up. We would also say electricity's gone up. We've seen probably wages go up and other inputs go up. But that's happened for everybody. So what's probably also happened is revenue has gone down. So restaurants used to be quite a low margin business. In this new world, they're probably almost going out of business. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and help businesses to lower their prices whilst keeping the menu good. Okay, so what's the instrument of how we know what's going on? So let's do a mock scenario where we live in a town. Now, I'm going to make that town Whittlesea. Okay, so I'm going to do a search for restaurants in Whittlesea. Okay, but we probably want to go for the smaller businesses. So let's do a bit of a search. Gemini has integration to maps, so it's probably a good choice here. Can you find me all the small business style restaurants in Whittlesea, Victoria? So it's going to plug into Google Maps. The Clay Walk, the Wong Tai. What's the Lady 7? Okay, so I've got this restaurant, the Lady 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull their menus. New menus coming soon. Okay, well that's not useful. Okay, we won't do that business. Let's just go to the Royal Mail Hotel. So here we go. Eat and drink. See our bistro menu. Interesting. It's a Google link. Oh, we're not off to a good start, are we? Bloody hell. Alright. So, we don't know what's on the menu because it's taking us to Google Maps. Right. See our menus, bistro. Here we go. Alright. So, okay, so we've got the bistro menu here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up an agent, and what I'm also going to do is, let me just do this down here. Bistro. Okay, so I've got this folder, Bistro, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that download where the hell did it go? No. Where did I put it? All right, I'm going to save that down to Bistro. All right, so in the folder Bistro, we have this. Cool. I'll just clean this up a bit. So I don't need that open anymore. There we go. All right, so I've got my menu in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use an agent. So we're going to launch our agent, set our project directory to document/bistro. So what that's going to do is it's going to link it to this particular folder. Okay, so now it's set to that. Now what we're going to say is we're going to say, could you please read the Royal Mail Hotel Bistro menu.pdf. As a chef, I want you to look through each menu item and write for me an estimate of all the ingredients and volumes of each ingredient in a typical pub meal in Australia and output that as a HTML file and save it in the project folder. Okay, so the first step is it can't read a binary file, so it's going to convert the menu across to a text file for me. So it's writing the software to do this for me. So now it's estimating the pub serving sizes for each ingredient. Now, once we've got all the ingredients, we're actually going to estimate the input food costs at a commercial price compared to the sale price. But we're also going to put a proxy on the difficulty of the cooking as well. Okay, so now it's writing our file. All right, let's put that in there. Okay, so what does it come up with? Cheesy bread and garlic. Okay, so it's put the price, the correct price, next to it. Okay, here we go. So here's, for each item on the menu, we've actually got the input, the likely input ingredients. Okay, so now I want you to take that analysis and estimate the amount that food would cost for each meal, based on the wholesale purchase price of the inputs in Whittlesea, Victoria. Please estimate to work out the profit margin on each item of food purely from a foodstuff perspective. Then I'd also like you to calculate for me the likely labour cost in Victoria to produce that food. It does not need to include overheads, just the time of a human to prepare the food. Output the result and the profit for each item, both in dollar terms and as a percentage in a new HTML file. Let's go. It's pretty wild, isn't it? It's going to be interesting to see what this comes up with. So the whole purpose behind this is to work out what is the profile of the spend, and then what we're going to do is we're going to ask for some alternatives, both in terms of menu item deletions, menu item additions, menu item changes that will drive, let's say, a 6% bottom line improvement in the menu. So in the restaurant business, they're already at such a low margin that if we can tweak it without ruining the menu and have things that people still want, you're probably likely to drive 6% of the business out. Now, the trick here is you want to be able to approach this business and say that you've been using AI to look at this. You show them the before numbers and the after numbers. And what you do is you offer to take their real data, their sales data, out of their sort of the cash register, my old machine, and basically run the numbers on it over that. And then if they make the changes, what you say is you want a part of the benefit over the period after the change. Now the cool thing about this is probably costing 50 cents, $1 maybe for the tokens. But you can literally just go and run this. And if you wanted to, you could probably write a mega prompt to do this all in one go. So what you could do is you could take the menus off the internet, run the analysis, get the report, but then you want to use, relationship by actually going in there and talking to the people about what they could do. But I don't know, let's say, what was that restaurant? Let's grab this and just say, could you estimate what the likely revenue and profit margin would be of a business like this? Okay, so we're going to run that. So let that work. It's not going to be right, but it might. Here we go. Which one was it? Royal Melbourne cost analysis. Okay, so we're going to dump this in here. Kitchen hand 23, cook 28, chef 33. Preparation time. There you go. Gross profit, $3.80. Soup, they're making some good profit on. Wedges, they're making good profit on. Loaded wedges, less. Nachos, 40%. Chicken satay, so that's less, right? Because chicken satay's got actual goods. Garlic prawns, even less again. The bruschetta, 27, 40%. 52 for the salad, 37 for the squid, 58 on the Caesar salad, beetroot salad, 44. So the salads are quite high profit margin. Bolognese, carbonara, risotto, 41%. Okay, so they're making some good profit on the steaks. The pizzas are pretty good as well. Parma's less so. Okay. All right, so now we've done that analysis. Let's now say the accountant says the business is in a bit of trouble and we need to change our menu to improve its bottom line profit margin by 6%. Could you please review the menu as a chef and add items, delete items, or change items and suggest a new menu to achieve the 6% bottom line change without the changes being unpopular with customers. Create me a new file, new HTML file with the analysis. Okay. This could be a fun one to actually try. I think what we might do is go and talk to this business in Whittlesea. Take the laptop down there with the befores and afters and see what they say. So the beautiful thing is you don't have to fully develop these businesses. You can just solve a problem, package it up, go and talk to them. Imagine if you're a young person that did this. Imagine like I would, if I was a proprietor and someone did this for me, I'd be quite happy. Some of them won't be happy. Some of them will probably have a massive sook or say your numbers are wrong. They're just not your customer. That's why you've got to have that rejection immunity, because they're going to reject you. So here we go. Let's wait till it pumps out the answer. And the cool thing about this is the data is like publicly available. It's already on the internet. It's already being indexed by these algorithms. So they're not going to turn around and say, oh, you're taking our private data. No, it's on the internet. It's not private. Okay. It's a healthy profit margin, but that's only the food. That's not the electricity and the property and everything else. So your profit margin is going to be very, very small once you've paid out everything. And that doesn't include all the staff out on the floor and the cleaning and the maintenance on the building and water, electricity, gas. That's why I think we're in a lot of trouble. Everyone wants their piece. So that's doing the work for me. Come on, it must nearly be done. It's doing a lot of thinking though. Think about it. All those meals. It's thinking, what should I get rid of? What should I replace? What should I do? And it's probably got to think it through in terms of not making people unhappy. It's pretty funny that the profit margin on rissoles isn't that high. You'd think it'd be the other way around, wouldn't you? You'd think the steak would be higher and the profit would be higher on those. Problem is the input costs of even the cheap meat's gone up so much. You used to pay a premium for these. Okay, the optimized menu. So it's going to be this one when this finishes. All right. Okay, the strategic menu. So we've added some high profit. Fish tacos, loaded potato skins, Mediterranean bowl, crispy pork belly. These are higher margin. We've modified these to be a smaller portion, batch prep, more efficient prep, honey carrots replaced with roasted vegetables, and several item price adjustments. And we've gotten rid of some of the lower high food cost. Okay, so we've removed some poor performers. Maximize, we're keeping the customers happy. Get rid of labor intensive, low margin complexity. Leverage existing kitchen. Okay. So now we've put the price of the soup up by $1. This is new. It's a higher profit margin. That's the same. This one we've put a slight price increase on. Chicken satay, and it's slightly modified. This one's a slightly smaller bistro size. We've put the price up slightly. The bruschetta, we've put the price up. I don't know if I'd like that one. $14.50 for a bruschetta. Seems ridiculous. A new Mediterranean grain bowl. We've added $1 here, $1.50 here, $1.50 here. The pasta, we've adjusted the price slightly. The carbonara, the fungi, the lasagna. The vegetarian cannelloni has been removed. It's labour intensive and it's got a poor margin. The risotto, these have been simplified. Beef and mushroom pie, new. Fish tacos, new. Crispy pork belly, new. Chicken schnitzel. But the cool thing is with these, they're all got relatively high profit margins. Schnitzel, veal scallopini and the beef lamb ragu are gone. The grill, put the price up by a couple of bucks. The prawn chorizo pizza is gone. I would probably leave that one. replaces honey carrots with roasted seasonal vegetable. Okay. So the new high profit margin items. Implementation strategy. Implement the price increases on high demand items. Add these. Week 2, add the new rotation. And then we're enhancing the menu. That's a 6.8% bottom line improvement on the business. Now this is all based off data that's not real. It's based on estimates. But what we could do is we could also look at the actual sales data for a period of time, and we could actually see what's selling. So you'd also find out, like, if something's selling a lot and it's really popular, then that's the one you might not want to take off the menu because people like it. But there might be some others that are low value that we can mix out with other things. And also, if people have got less money, it's kind of hard to put the price up, but we could also readjust this in terms of how could we lower the food costs on some of these things, but kind of still be yummy, but at a lower price. So we could adjust it again as well. All right, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to go down to this restaurant and I'm going to see what they say. Check it out.